It is another beautiful Tuesday, early afternoon, and that can only mean one thing, folks. It is another episode of the Protect You podcast, live from inside of Studio Triple J. Welcome on in, folks. Jake Wilson, as always, alongside the man, Jay Mickens. Jay, we have a jam-packed episode this time around. Multiple interviews, people coming on the set, off the set, new additions to the crew, more guys getting offers. It's jam-packed. I'm very excited to get into this one.
Yeah, no, I'm pumped for this one. You know, we've been waiting for one of these for a while now. You know, this new partnership that we're going to be talking about and bringing on. Let's just say these two gentlemen have done a phenomenal job of wooing Protection United, and you know, but what they are bringing to the recruiting game is going to be game changer, and just honored, right? And then, of course, right, we got a monster in the building, right? I cannot wait. I still remember when we were doing our deal, right, for our 2026 event, and I'll never forget when that game show host went up. It was like, "Hey, do you want to do something?" And I mean, the look he gave that woman, like I was like, "Is he not like what is happening here?" But no, but it's so excited, right? I mean, he's kind of one of the finales of our 2026, right? Of getting all of our guys to school, and can't wait to have him on and have a little fun with him. So
Absolutely.
it's gonna be a fun show.
It's saying all the guys, too, to have fun with. I think he has to be one of the most fun personalities out there, too, in terms of the Protect You crew members.
He remember your favorite TikTok.
Absolutely.
You still went nuts when he did
because he had the Sexy Dexy one was a good one.
Yeah.
That one was a good one.
Yeah, that was good.
There was the cheerleading wonder in the pep rally, which that one was really good.
That was wild, bro.
The one of him power bombing the chair.
That was it.
That one had to be it.
Yeah, that had to be it. Like, I'm like, this school lets him get away. I think mom is pulling some strings. I think she's like working there. So I think it's kind of walks around. Oh, that's just Randy.
That's just Randy.
That's just Randy.
That's just Randy. But
yeah,
he brings that energy now
does.
to Studio Triple J, as we talked about the members of the 2026 class finally completing their jumps and making their commitments to the collegiate level. And none other than Randy Mills gets to make that jump as well, as he will be taking his talents to Colorado State Pueblo. And not only that, but he brings that energy and he brings that talent to the Protect You podcast. We're very excited to see him, and we're very excited to discuss what these opportunities are going to be like for him as well. And so, folks, welcome on into the studio, none other than Randy Mills. Randy, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm happy to be here.
Are you?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I love it. I can see the smile on your face. So, I mean, are you getting to skip school for this?
Yes.
You are?
Yep.
Okay, because I know mom said that, like, the 17th was better for you than the 24th. Why is that? Like,
It's our birthday. The 24th is our birthday.
Oh, now the truth comes out. See, we keep it open and real here at the Protect You podcast.
Sir.
She said that, man, that would be better for Randy. He could make it on the 24th.
He can make it.
But the 17th would really be great. I'm thinking because of school or some other commitment. It's mama's birthday.
Mama's birthday.
But we love mama, though.
We love mama.
I'm assuming that you have been mean to everybody in your life except for your mom.
Pretty much.
Pretty much, yes. I like it. Yeah,
Mama's the person that taught me to be mean to people.
Oh,
There you go.
okay.
The truth comes out.
Hey, bro. I like this. So wait. So you didn't get your meanness from your dad?
No.
So dad's like a big teddy bear?
Pretty much.
Mama's got that dog in her?
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Mama was an athlete too in the family.
Ooh.
yeah.
Basketball player.
She played basketball?
Yep, she's
Mama
a
could
hooper.
hoop?
She could hoop.
Okay. Have you seen some of those VHS highlights?
No.
No.
Just stories. Just stories.
Oh, just stories.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Allegedly, she could.
It's like a Wilt Chamberlain type situation. Puts up the 100-point
she
game.
scored the
There's-
100.
There's no evidence of it, but we know that it happened.
we know it.
No.
I don't know. We haven't seen any highlights. Look here, Randy. Look, I need you to go do this, okay?
Yeah.
Go to a pawn shop.
Uh-huh.
Go find a VCR. Do you know what a VCR is?
You put the little tape in there and it goes,
Yeah, that's
and it,
damn. No, you sound like when we had to get on internet.
Say,
That's a different story. Yeah, no, yeah. Jeez, you're taking me way back. I don't know. Go find a VCR. It should make that noise. Then say, Mama, I know you got these tapes somewhere in your closet. Go put it in. Let's just go see.
Yeah.
Let's see. So what high school did mom go to?
Conroe High School.
Oh, mama's a real hooper.
How
That's
about
different.
that?
I thought she was like some kind of small country town like Hoosiers.
Nah,
She was at
mama
Conroe.
was hooping.
Oh, okay. She could hoop. She could ball. Mom could ball. Okay. So
Yes,
that's
sir.
where you got your athletic talent from, huh?
Yes, sir.
So dad, nothing?
I mean,
Because he's in the green room with his feelings hurt. I'm looking at him.
I say I got my size from my dad,
Okay.
but athletic ability was from mom.
But did dad play any sports?
He did. He played football a little bit, but as he likes to say, he quit to go chase fast cars and women.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow. Hey man, this interview is taking this interview's taking a different turn.
Yeah.
Holy cow. Jake,
So I had to out dad like
Jake, I'm
that.
telling you right now, just throw those questions out that we got. Throw those in the trash. Randy, I mean, this is gold right here. This is because we're getting to hear how Randy was created.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Okay, so once daddy slowed down from chasing cars and women, how did mom and dad meet?
I don't know, to be honest with you.
You don't know? So
I think in a bar, maybe. I'm not supposed to say this on podcast.
Immediate laughter. Immediate laughter from the green.
no, you can say whatever you want on this podcast. Randy, look, Randy, you are in a safe space.
I'm getting the look right now.
No.
bro. I'm getting the look.
Yeah, hey, but you are in a safe space. You're in a safe space, brother. And I don't want you to feel like you can't be yourself and answer these questions. But this is amazing. Now, how long have your parents been married?
I am 19 years.
19 years. Okay. So it seems like that mom got dad to slow down and stay focused.
Possibly.
Possibly. That's the discipline from the athleticism that mom brought. Plus, I mean, she's the boss.
She is the boss.
She is the boss.
Mama
I love
Mills.
it. Mama Mills.
Mama Mills.
Mama Mills. So, Randy, we've had you. You know, you were here. You saw the other guys that we represented in the 2026 class, right? Get to sit where you're sitting now with the interview. We interviewed you outside,
Yes,
right?
sir.
As you know, we wanted to wait until the full commitment,
Yes, sir.
but we're here now, right? We're here now. Tell us, why did you pick the school that you picked?
Number one, just the love that they showed me was unlike any other school out there. You know, they calling me, texting me constantly. Dang, my phone's blowing up. Who is this? You know, it's them. You know, they showed me love. Coach Hop, he's not there anymore, but he came down for a home visit. You know, that kind of definitely sealed the deal for sure. Yeah, they loved on me. That's a good football program too. You know, it's D2, but it's a good football program. You know, I think they got a stats like they win their conference more than they don't. I think the RMAC. So
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing too, brother. Like, you know, and I don't want you to water down D2 because at the end of the day, everybody's journey is different, right? And I applaud you, right? I mean, everybody's going to always shoot for the bigger schools, but we know a lot of cats, they're actually just sitting on the bench for 2-3 years, right? You know, it's kind of like the whole thing here locally. Yeah, you can go to North Shore and get a state championship, but what the hell did you do to get there? Right. I rather made my own path, you know, and the fact that you recognize, right? And if you remember when we first came on with Protection United, the goal was to not find a school that just loves you, but find a school that's in love with you, right? And I love the fact that you stayed true to that. And now you have an opportunity to come in and play as a true freshman, right? Because at the end of the day, they're going to give you all the opportunity in the world to be successful.
Yes,
and I know that you felt that love there, right?
Yes,
Now,
sir.
let's talk about off the field stuff for a second. What about the campus? Like when you walked in, like how was the campus there? Is it nice? Like,
it is nice. You know, we walked around. I will say it's cold.
Okay.
It's cold.
But you want it to be cold.
There was snow on the ground.
Okay.
You know, we went to a basketball game for my official visit the first night. It was cool, you know, to see the pack is what they call themselves in the arena. I got to meet the legend around there, kind of like I don't know that guy for Ohio State. He always wears the hat, but he's their guy. He's their old football coach, and he came by, he shook my hand, said what's up. You know, that's their legend. I got to meet him, and you know, the campus is beautiful. People are nice too. Everybody I met up there was really cool.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. I love that.
I like that. And two, it must feel very much like a weight off your shoulders when you made that commitment. What was the rest of the vibe like in the house when you finally made that commitment and sealed the deal with CSU Pueblo?
Excited, definitely a weight off our shoulders. You said it perfectly. Just all my life, my one goal, and I remember telling them this when I was little. I want to go play college football. I want
Yeah.
to go past high school.
Yeah.
And once I made that commitment, it's just
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But I mean, the work's just getting started. So
That's right. It's just the beginning, brother.
Yes, sir.
Just the beginning. So you, so what are you doing in school now, right? I mean, because we know that mom is really big on grades, right? I mean, you're sitting at what's your GPA right now?
3.75.
I love that.
Nice.
That's great. That's great. So, but like, how many more classes you got left? I mean, how was this last semester of high school going for you?
I'm not gonna lie. I have 2 high school classes
It's great.
and 1 college class.
There we go. So, what college class are you taking?
1301 English with Blinn.
Okay,
It's
good. Is it mandatory? Is that
nope,
another mama play?
That's a mama thing.
That's a
I'm
mama play, yeah.
adjusting to the workload, as they say.
Okay. So, have you decided what you're going to major in college or
Business management
I like
with a master's in construction management. Yes, sir.
Where's that coming from?
That's coming from Dad, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Show Dad some love.
Yes, sir.
There it is. Dad's over there like it's going to be a long ride home, man. I'm telling you. Like it's going to be one of those weird, awkward rides. Just put your AirPods in, zone out.
The podcast was fun.
Yeah. You got more than that for me. I want chasing women all the time. Not every day. All right. So, Randy, we got the school set, right? We are now just kind of going through the motions of getting through with high school. What last impact, right, do you want to leave, at your high school? Because, I mean, you talked about, the guy being up at Colorado State, that's the man, right? But technically, you're the man at your school, right? I mean, you're like that big fish in that small pond. What kind of legacy, like, do you want to leave at your high school?
You can do it. There's, I got 68 kids in my grade. Like, it's a small school.
Wow.
And, no one really goes to college for sports.
Mm-hmm.
And the message I want to send to, all the younger kids in my school is that you can do it. You really put your head down and you can go get a free education from Anderson.
I love
from that small school.
I love that, man. And and speaking of, along those same lines, like just talk to us just a little bit about like what you felt, that Protection United has done from you. Like the moment that, you and your mom and dad came over here and we officially welcomed you to the Protect You crew. Walk us through that moment and then kind of like where we are now in essence of like us helping and being representation and kind of helping build your brand.
Man, I was excited when I joined. I really was. It's good to connect with you again, from our past little league.
Oh yeah.
Y'all added something to me, like the brand, the whole making Randy Mills who Randy Mills is. Before it was just go to high school, want to go to play college football, cool. Now we add the social media aspect, make the Randy Mills brand, and that's something that we didn't have before, and that's something that you guys did great for us. And the family, like the family of college athletes or going to be college athletes, of people who are doing the same thing I'm doing, like they have the same goals as me. That was big too.
Awesome, man. We appreciate
Awesome.
that.
Because we're all about here Protection United, the blessing those that want to be blessed.
Right.
And you are absolutely one of those guys, Randy, of having that incredible physique, the relentless drive of when we introed you on the podcast, your highlights were some of the most dominant things that we've ever seen of you hit the tackle and then you go back in on them. You hit the tackle and then you give one last little shove into the dirt for them. Right. And that's the type of, that's the type of stuff that goes under the radar, I think, for a lot of guys. And so we're very happy to elevate you to where you are now, and we're very happy to see where this journey is going to go in the very near future, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Hey, well, brother, we appreciate you coming on, right?
Yes,
missing the little school. And make sure you show love to mom on her birthday next week, right? And give daddy a hug.
Yep.
Yeah,
give dad a hug.
Yeah, big old hug.
I kind of outed him a little bit.
A little bit. That's okay. Hey, everybody's journey's different. Right. But it's not about where you start, but it's where you finish.
Yes,
and your
sir.
dad is a great man.
He is.
Pays his taxes. He is a part of a great society, and he does everything the right way. He just had a little fun when he was young.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. But hey, it leads to where we are now as Randy Mills gets ready to take his talents to CSU Pueblo and rounds out the class of 2026 as we have yet another graphic here ready to go for him of the signed graphic for him. And we're very, very happy to see what Randy is going to do when he makes that jump to the collegiate level, where those reps are going to be coming in, how impactful he's going to be on that defensive side, Jay.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I mean, I'm just going to call it what it is. I mean, like they literally are getting a steal up there, right? You know, at Colorado State Pueblo. I mean, you're looking at someone that is, I just think he's going to dominate, right? I know that sometimes not being an early grad, sometimes not being able to get there for spring ball and all that, but a lot of times there's certain levels of talent that comes on the campus to where they're like, man, he's the guy, right? And, you know, Randy's already reaching out to the coaches. He's like, hey, man, give me the workout regime. Like, let me come into camp shape and ready to roll. So I think when he shows up in June, it won't be any snow on the ground because I think Randy's going to bring that fire.
Oh, absolutely, man. Absolutely. And speaking of guys, too, making their jump to the next level, and we continue to talk about the buzz that is building within the Protect You crew as more and more Protect You crew members rack up offers like they're just collecting them left, right, and center. And we also bring back a returning face to the Protect You podcast to go over and discuss how monumental it is for these young athletes to continue their journey at the D1 level. That is, of course, our guy, Chase King. Chase, thank you so much again for joining us for yet another breakdown on the Protect
Fired
You
up
podcast.
for the breakdown. Let's do it.
I love it. Chase is our guy. He's going to end up being more of a stapler on this show, right, if you will. I know initially he was a little nervous. I think our guy's getting comfortable now being in this. Chase, you think getting a little bit more?
I think practice makes perfect.
It does.
Anything, you know?
There you go.
It does. Hey, I will say the first time you came on, bro, it was a hit. It was a hit, man. Like, we got a lot of positive feedback. If we didn't, you wouldn't be back on the show.
Yeah, you're good.
Let you know. Right. Jake and I have been a part of other podcasts where we were the last two men standing every time. Everybody else is like, the ratings don't feel you. You're not good enough. But no, Chase, so glad that you're here, man. And we can get ready to get jumped. You ready?
Let's roll into it.
You ready to roll into it?
do
All
it.
right.
Absolutely, absolutely, because there are quite a few offers that we got to go through here. And we start off with a very monumental one for our guy, and the Coleman family gets a win with Tavis Coleman picking up his first Division I offer to McNeese State. We're incredibly proud for what this moment means for Tavis. It's very hard for a lot of guys to sit back and watch other guys get offers. And it must feel very degrading too for the family members within your own family are picking up those same offers. But now Tavis gets his due diligence.
Yeah,
and he gets the respect he deserves.
And I'm so happy for him. I mean, you got his sister right here on my right shoulder. Obviously, Bryce, the twin, right? Because you got the twins action there. Them Coleman boys, right? As Sam likes to say. You know, Bryce, obviously, from the measurable and the eye test to go along with his talent, right? He's received. Tavis has the talent, but it was just people were like, he's 6'2". He's only started 1 year a quarterback. And, you know, Chase, and I want to pass it over to you real quick before we jump into these other ones. But, you know, the quarterback spot is such a sensitive position, at least from what I've been seeing, and that it's hard for these guys to get offers because there's only one.
Only one. Exactly. To your point, there's only one that can play. And the biggest thing for these quarterbacks is to get that film early and then show what they can do throughout their, junior and senior year.
I love that, man. And we're happy for Tavis.
Absolutely.
I'm happy for him. And I mean, Jake, I think you're about to roll through another deal where them Coleman boys might have a chance to keep that connection going.
Say the dynamic has been built very early on. That childhood dynamic of twin brothers continuing to get the work done. But now they have a chance to potentially do it at the collegiate level too. As Bryce Coleman also picked up an offer from McNeese State. Very excited for what that opportunity might present here, should that be the path they decide to go with, because that's an interesting dynamic of talking about two brothers constantly playing with each other. The sibling rivalry becomes sibling teammates. They've been doing an excellent job out there at Shadow Creek, and now the window is open for them to potentially do it at the collegiate level.
No, I agree, bro. And, and shout out to McNeese State. We got a couple of guys there, right? With our guy Kiata, excuse me, as well as Ike, right? Big shout out to those guys. But, I like that McNeese State recognizes that brother connection, right? And recognizing that what Tavis is doing as well as Bryce. And, I'm happy that they offered them. And, with the boys having a chance to go play in Lake Charles. I like Lake Charles, by the way.
Yes.
I like staying at the Golden Nugget. Let me see if Richard Mills wants to go with me so we can bring that. Oh, there he's coming back. Yeah, hey, Frank the Tank can be back. Melissa might not be happy with me, but we'll have one weekend of fun.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And from one brotherly dynamic now to the next, as Joshua Vilmel has been racking up offers, now over 20 Division I offers for Joshua Vilmel. And one of them presents a very interesting opportunity as Kansas State has now offered the future 5-star talent and a window of opportunity there should he choose to go with it to team up with his older brother.
Right, exactly. And I love that. I mean, once again, you're starting to see these schools recognizing that, man, it's something about that brother connection. And I mean, I'm not going to go as far as saying Kansas State's going on a reach because both of those dudes are freaking studs, right? So, yeah, I'll take 2 4-star DBs that just happen to have bunk beds. And now they are going to be D1 athletes. But, yeah, happy for Joshua. And once again, I mean, he might be our hottest DB right now in regards of the offers, right, Chase?
Absolutely. Just really waiting for the SEC schools to kind of wake up. We got Kentucky, we got Arkansas, but where we at, Vandy? Where we at, Mizzou? And I think it'll start coming here in the soon days as they see, their action picking up.
Absolutely, because those Power 4 schools continue to pile the offers on, and the West Coast gets involved with Joshua as well as UCLA throws its hat in the ring, trying to bring the Texas talent over to Cali. And a Big Ten school, nonetheless.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they're looking for him to be the next Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, right? I mean, that's where UCLA is in that area, and but yes, Jake. I mean, Big Ten, and to your point, Chase. I mean, unlike the SEC, where maybe just a couple, it's like the Big Ten is starting to recognize. We know the Big 12 loves them, but now the Big Ten is starting to recognize Joshua's talents.
Yeah, those dominoes are starting to fall. We're starting to see it, Big 10, Big 12, and now let's get that SEC, like we said. Let's get that, hit that ceiling that we're aiming for right there.
And then last but certainly not least, none other than Sam Houston trying to potentially play the local card, try and get their guy in there. But with the amount of offers that Joshua picks up, Sam Houston, just another very welcome addition.
Yeah, I'll pass it over to Chase.
Put it on me. Yeah, thank you, Sam. You really appreciate you. But like I said, I think we're on to a little bit bigger, better things now. Nothing against Sam Houston, but I think Joshua's ceiling is a little bit higher than
exactly. And the good thing about it, we can laugh and joke because we're old men. Well, I'm an older man. You guys are very young. I know, but at the end of the day, I love what the Vilmels are doing, and I love that Joshua, in all honesty, is understanding. Show respect to everybody because you never know where these coaches are going to end up because it's like a carousel. They're always moving, and love the fact that Sam is doing that.
Absolutely. And then from one other beast to another, as Kingston Buyer brings in another offer as well, and he picks up Tulsa as another strong Division I offer. He's already got Wyoming, Houston, UTSA. I believe UT Martin was also in the mix for him as well. Wyoming getting out there, and now Tulsa says, you know what? Kingston Buyer's building some hype. Let's invest in him early.
Another big American conference offer here. But talked to Kingston the other day. He's got the frame. He's got the first step. He's got the power. I think, to get him up north into that Big Ten, kind of in this Joshua Vilmel, kind of area. Start dropping some of those Big 10, Big 12 dominoes here soon.
And we stay in the North Texas area as Jalen Kilo also picked up a pretty substantial offer over the week as he gets a Mean Green offer, and North Texas throws its hat in the ring, trying to sway the Willis talent to come and join a potentially rebuilding Mean Green squad out there in Denton. And then Bryson Dossett, one of the favorites here within the Protect You staff, picks up his offer to the Air Force Academy. This guy has been building up a very substantial amount of hype and a lot of buzz coming out of just the past couple of weeks. It seems like those offers have nearly doubled for Bryson Dossett. We're very excited for him, and that's going to be a very interesting decision process for him. And then breaking news just out of this morning as Jordan White, the College Park product, is picking up another offer from Cornell, that making it his second D1 offer, and out of the Ivy League, no less.
Yeah, and I will say this real quick, Jake, that Jordan White has been dominating the 707 circuit. I talked to the RG3, right? He plays on RG3 TakeOver, right? And Robert told me, he was like, Jay, this dude is the best corner that we're having currently right now. They're putting him outside. They're putting him at nickel, and he's been shut down, right? And the film doesn't lie. You go on his X page, you see him going against the 4-star receivers, right, at Duncanville. Lock City, fam.
He even posted a video on him, kind of chirping a little. I loved it.
Bro.
I love the mentality.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. And then last but most certainly not least is our big body tight end and the guy, Jake Sneed, as he picked up an offer from Charlotte, another guy that has been slowly but steadily building up some substantial hype on the recruiting trail. We're very excited to see what Jake's recruiting process is going to look like with one more year left at John Cooper. It'll be a very interesting decision process, and I think a lot more schools are going to start to say, hey, wait a minute, this Jake Sneed guy is somebody that we got to get at.
I agree. Look, man, first of all, man, our dudes are hot. I'm just going to throw that out there, man. We can brag on them, right? It's like any father, you're allowed to brag on your kids. And everybody that's in ear listening distance has to take it, right? We're allowed to do that. But these are our guys, right? To protect you crew members, we're showing, right? And don't get me wrong, guys. The main thing is the main thing, right? You know, if their talent is not doing what they're doing, then none of this means a damn thing. However, what we're doing with them and how this is all happening for them, man, I'm not shocked. I really thought, Jake, we were going to be done with this segment 2 weeks ago, and they're still throwing offers. It's like popping popcorn, and you think it's ready in the microwave. As you're about to go open it up, you hear, blah, 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 blah. Oh, it's some more kernels that need to be popped in his bag. That's what's happening here with our guys. I mean, they're still throwing out offers, throwing them out. I'm so pumped for our guys, and they're all well-deserving. All well-deserving. So, anyway. Yes. Happy for our dudes.
We're very happy for all of them, and it breathes a little bit more fresh life, I think, into the Protect You crew, as well as not only do these offers build up substantial hype for the other Protect You crew members that are in the building, but I think whenever they start to see those offers pour in and they see that at Protect You crew tag thrown on those posts, the scrolling eyes, the doom scrollers start to look through and they say, hey, who is that? Who is Protect You crew? Maybe I want to get a piece of that action.
Yeah.
And it leads to more and more members joining the Protection United crew. And we got two of them today that a little bit of a personal connection to both of these guys. And so I think there's a lot more that goes into it of we want these guys to be successful. They've already proven themselves on the field in some cases. And we jump straight into it here with none other than Nick Henry. This young man, boy, when we saw this guy and we saw the film that he put out there, geez, it's very understandable why this going to be sophomore was freshman all-conference USA kick and punt returner, Jace.
Yep, very, very impressive kid right here. Nick, actually have the relationship with Nick. Speedy guy. I mean, you'll see right here, you punt him the ball, it could get dangerous real quick. Nick's got the vision, comes out of high school with a 10.4 100-meter. Can't teach that speed here, and you'll see that right here. Nick's vision, sees the hole, doesn't hesitate, hits it, makes a few or a lot of guys miss. And he's always just 1 or 2 blocks away.
And it looks like that El Paso sign is in the shot.
It might be his lamp in the room, but yeah, they do call it the Sun City for a reason.
Yeah.
And just another great example here of Nick's true athleticism and speed here. I mean, he's got all the things you want from a receiver/returner. You know, he's going to catch this ball off the bounce, cross fields. Again, he ain't fast enough. He just ain't got it. And then the kicker's going to get a nice little introduction to Nick.
Yeah, and Chasen, like, I mean, talk to us too, brother. I mean, like, obviously special teams was his thing. Was it because the wide receiver room was so deep that this is where he could really get his true choice to shine?
Yeah, and you'll see, like, he got tape at wide receiver, but he also he knew he could get on the field quicker at kick returner, and that's a big example, big reason why he got that first team all conference freshman.
And what I love about that too, man, and it really speaks high volumes of not only the way that he was raised, right, but also to the fact that he is showing that I'm not too good to go out there and do what's best for me as well as the team. A lot of guys will, get in their feelings about, well, I'm a receiver and I shouldn't be on special teams and blah, blah, blah. I love the fact that Nick said, you know what, whatever I can do to get on the field is what I'm going to do. And, Chase, kind of want to pass it over to you real quick. You helped recruit this young man, right?
Yep.
And when you first got to meet, Mom, because we got to meet with Mom right on our Zoom here, Jake and I did. So there was our first acquaintance. Of course, Brandon, right?
Yep.
The mentor, the big bro, if you will. But for you though, right? Talk to us about when you first met the family, and then talk about your relationship with Nick that made you say, "Hey Jay, this guy will be perfect to come join Protection United.
100%. It was an easy transition. Like I said, I had the privilege of recruiting him and coaching him last year. But first time meeting Nick, obviously the tape speaks for itself. But what more that drew us to Nick was his family, his support system, Ellie, his mom, Brandon, his brother that we talked about, just the group that he had around him, and just I love to see the growth Nick's made from just coming in as a senior that thought 10-4 kid, highly talented kid, but now, like you said, takes that step back, kind of grows into that more mature role, and just the kid Nick's becoming today.
I love that. And like, what is the future projection you think for this year with it being his sophomore season?
Oh, they're going to get Nick the ball. They're going to get him the ball. If they don't, then we have some other things to talk about. But no, Nick, I see him not only getting that, as a punt returner, all conference, but I see him getting, that receiver, moving up, not just that, specified punt returner, but like I said, that receiver and just making leaps and bounds. Like he's a true freshman. So we got stuff to work with over here. We got some ammo to work with. So it's exciting for Nick and and UTEP in general.
Absolutely. Hard work and patience definitely looking like it's going to pay off for Nick as he continues his collegiate career. And then one guy that we're looking to get into college and one guy that we're very excited to welcome into the Protect You crew is none other than Eli Burton. This young man was getting out there and putting in some really solid work for an Oak Ridge defense that has a pedigree of producing great defensive talent. Obviously, we talk about Justin Williams, Joseph Jonah Ajonye, and Elijah looking to make a very similar impact from his defensive end spot.
Yeah, I mean, this young man, I've known him, personally since he was 7 years old, kind of coming up in the same, little league, rec leagues, and, played for his dad. Big shout out to Chad, by the way. He did a really phenomenal promo, I would say, here, but, leading up to this announcement. But, Eli played quarterback, he played middle linebacker, and now they're asking him to be an edge rusher. And, Chase, I mean, as you watch the film, tell us, what your initial thoughts for a young man who's only played the spot for only 4 games.
Impressed. The versatility, like you said, with the different positions and being able to translate that to a position that, you got to have that dog in you. It says a lot from Eli's standpoint and the coach's faith in him, the trust in him to put him, and you see right there, he's living a lineman's dream right there. So, taking a house call.
I think they call it the Big Six, right?
Yeah, Big Six, yeah, for sure. But no, like I said, his athleticism and just that, mentality of, hey, I got to switch positions and doing that for that team. And I think his upside is just, out of this world.
And it's really promising, too, with the class of 2027. So he's still got a little bit more time to develop before that collegiate jump happens.
Yeah, exactly. And, and that's the thing too, right? Elijah is a hard worker, right? Mom and dad are realists. They understand that, hey, everybody wants that P4 dream, but they are realists. They want their son to go somewhere that he's going to get a chance to play, right? And we get it, right? He's kind of behind the 8 ball a little bit because of the moving to a DN spot, right? And let's just be real. A lot of these guys that are on the national scene are getting recruited. It's because they played the position for 3 years, right? And they have that body of work and that built up resume. But Chase, I know that you and your team, right, as well, is going to help him in that regard, right? From finding out, what he needs to improve on it, And so talk to us a little bit about what you, as well as Logan, right, our talent scout, have kind of already started devising a plan to help him in that regard.
Absolutely. So me and Logan, we've already come up with some solutions to, his improvements, Elijah's. We got to work on our speed a little bit, our hip mobility. But that's like you're talking about Elijah's work ethic, his motor, it's uncoachable. So all the things we're going to give Elijah, we know that he's coachable. We know that we can go into the lab, we can get those things fixed. And like to Jake's point, we got a little time to get it fixed before that season. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's what excites me too, because we always talk about at Protection United, our Holy Trinity, right? You got to have Protection United. That's a nice little plug for the business, right? But you got to have a kid, right, that wants it more than anybody, right? Which Elijah is. But then that last piece is good parents, right? And so having a supportive dad that's willing to do whatever it takes, but then also a mom that's going to be supportive and do whatever it takes. And then she's also a football fan. So her and Ashley talk all the time because they both love the Kansas City Chiefs. I hate it because I'm a Raiders fan, so I just got to roll my eyes because my team sucks every year. Freaking Chiefs win all the time. and they love their teachers. But point being is that, having that support system, and honestly, Chase, I'm excited for you and your team to really work with them, because as you continue to build that relationship, and you see the group, I mean, Melissa literally wrote in there, hey, what else do y'all need? Like, are you missing anything else? Dad's like, hey, do you need his login to his huddle? They're all in.
Proactive,
That's right? And talk to us from your perspective, coming from that world of being the former director of high school recruiting. How important is that to have that holy trinity?
Well, it goes back to, it's a cliche, but it goes back to the saying, it takes a village. And, if some people in those villages don't have the same mindset and the same, vision plan, it's not going to work. So like you said, coming from the coaching side and having a parent, a support system, a Protection United, and a kid, most importantly, with the mindset to go achieve that goal, it makes it, it's very intriguing from a coach's perspective.
That is awesome.
Absolutely, man. Well, Chase, again, thank you so much for your input. Our de facto Mel Kiper, as we dubbed him here
Chase
at
Kiper.
Protection United. There you go. I like it.
I don't know Chase
I like
very much.
names.
Yeah, he always blushes when we give him compliments.
Say,
I'm like Addie.
Yeah, he's like Madison. Yeah. I don't say nothing nice to me.
But again, Chase, your input very valued here, because you bring a lot of that expertise and a lot of that knowledge that is intangible almost, that a lot of these guys would be looking for when those coaches do have those conversations with them, when that evaluation does come through. So we do greatly appreciate your input, man.
Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, man. Awesome.
Of course, and we appreciate the professional input of a blooming partnership that is coming up here at Protection United, as we are very excited to announce here, as members of the Protect You crew, that we are announcing our collaboration designed to support athletes and families with a clear athlete-first path from performance to opportunity with none other than WarpStream. WarpStream complements this foundation with technology that turns athletic effort into visible, credible proof with professional quality highlights, centralized recruiting profiles, and measurable performance data that athletes can control confidently and share. And we got to bring on the man himself, none other than Akil Backus, to come onto the studio to discuss what this partnership is going to be like and to introduce the great people to what WarpStream is. And so, Akil, thank you so much for taking this time to come on and join us.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.
And we appreciate you coming down. I mean, too, brother. I mean, we gave him the option, like, hey, do you want to do a pre-recorded Zoom? And Akil looked at me and was like, bro, I've seen enough Zooms with me and you. Like, let me get here in 3D in the studio. Appreciate you coming from North Dallas, right?
That's
North
right,
Dallas.
Allen,
Okay, from Allen, like it. Well, before we jump into this questionnaire to you, what do you think about the studio?
I love it. I'm jealous. I need to upgrade my home office. So
Okay.
I'm taking notes.
Okay. Yeah, and I tell everybody that comes on, just so you know how dedicated I am to this. This was my man, den. This was my cave.
Oh, wow.
Like, I was going to have Richard come over here, hang out, talk about his glory days, watch some football. I decided not to do that. I decided we're going to gut this out and have our own studio. Do you think this is worth the sacrifice?
Oh, yeah. It's nice. Like I said, I mean, I have like green paper, roll-up paper, so I've been in this business for a while, right? And, sound things on the wall, but I like it. It's lovely. So
That's great.
Good job.
Thank you, brother.
Absolutely. But Akil, you come into this because the importance of social media and how dynamic it's become in terms of getting guys the way that they need to be respected, right? Where the game has changed, a lot more schools, a lot more coaches, and a lot more scouts are focusing very heavily on social media in terms of getting athletes. So I toss over to you the question of what is your background that allowed you so seamlessly to create this company that now provides that type of opportunity for young athletes?
Yes, it's funny. I'm not from a traditional background, I'd say. So I'm not from San Francisco. We're a technology company at heart. So when people look at my background, but no, I'm Akil Backus, co-founder of WarpStream. And so professionally, I'm a product manager. So I focus on building technology platforms for scale. Before that, I served in the Marine Corps. And so that really set the foundation of how I prep for what I think about discipline, preparation. And the key here is human performance, right? So we always say we're only as strong as our weakest link. And that's evident on the battlefield or training, et cetera, right? That really comes to heart. So what we saw with WarpStream is actually intersection of both worlds, is structured systems plus looking at athletic performance, right? And so what we see, from our standpoint, WarpStream helps athletes really manage that, their story, their visibility, as well as their recruiting narrative, right? To focus and, leveraging exposure with strategy, having a plan to kind of build that brand as you all are doing here at Protection United.
I love that. And how, like, what was that moment when you were like, oh, got an idea for a company? Because I know how I get, and I'm normally like 2, 3 in the morning, and I'm like, oh, I got something brewing, right? But talk to us and walk us through that journey, if you don't mind, of when you figured out, man, I got something here that can really, help, in recruiting.
Yeah, it's funny, like where we pull the partnership together is a product we have called Prospects, and that's that recruiting like infrastructure, right? And so before that, though, we've been around we're in our 9th year now, and so we really focused on the performance measuring and kind of merging video, so trust but verify, right?
Yeah.
And so where we navigated though is we saw that parents were spending a lot of money on custom websites. They were hire out because some of the platforms that are available are really gated by the coaches, or they're built more for recruiters, or they're not really like athlete first tools, right?
Mhm.
And so we saw that as an idea to, what if we just made it easy for athletes and their parents to kind of own their story, right?
Mhm.
And so that's where we had the idea to do Prospects. One of the other challenges with social media is, you're on across many platforms here, YouTube, X, Instagram, right? Those have algorithms, you
Mhm.
find people different ways. You're not in control, right? So you really needed a place where you can own that narrative, but then be available across those platforms.
I like that. And it does, I think, really tie together how important
Mhm.
social media has become for the recruiting process of these athletes. From your perspective, why do you feel like it is that social media has become that pillar through which a lot of recruitment happens in this modern NIL era of athletics?
Yeah, no, great question. So I think of it as like a new scouting layer, right? I mean, now we're kind of like 5 years into social media, but really people are still working out those muscles where they know they can go on different social media to find new talent, right? So it's a great discoverability platform. If I'm tight on budget as a scout, or if I'm assigned to a geographic area, right? So a buddy of mine might send me a post of some kid I saw on social media. So like the discovery is huge. The other thing with social media is like a reputation, right? So you all know you got to be careful about what you post.
Yeah.
Obviously, teenagers, we've all done silly things. Thank goodness there wasn't social media when I was young. And I say that for all the silly things we do, right?
Right.
But they're lucky too to have social media, because now if I'm in Springfield, Missouri, or I'm a linebacker in North Dakota or Nebraska, some smaller
Yeah.
area, like that's how you get discovered, right? And the last thing with that brand is like once you get clicked on, right, the coach or scout taps on your profile, that's where it comes back to, okay, what else are you posting, right? So having that reputation, social media helps, like you're more than just highlights, right? You put some lifestyle videos, you can show that grind, getting up early in the morning, doing your film study,
Right.
working out, nutrition, all
Right.
those things, right? I think lastly with social media, one of the other good benefits is that network effect, right? So a scout might see something, they share it with another coach at a smaller school or a bigger school, right? You just get that network effect. So your reach gets very broad and you can get viral pretty quick, right?
Right. Yeah. And that was one of the things I think that most excited me, right? When you talked about the lifestyle part of it, right? When you showed me, hey, Jay, like we can create this and we can have this be essentially a part of the custom websites that you built, for Protection United and for, our clients as well. But then as now you see with the NIL, world where that's so critical to have. Talk to us about what you've seen with WarpStream and what y'all created, the benefits that have helped in that world. I would say era with NIL.
Yeah, so benefits, we don't have to go far, fortunately. Like a few of the co-founders, we have children ourselves. I have a daughter, it's in high school, and we tell our friends and family, obviously we build a product, but we use what we built as well. And so even one of our co-founders, Keaton, his own son, he's used his profile. Typically when you sign up for these different events or tournaments, they usually ask for your social link now, right? As a student. So they go there now, they go to that our profile that's your branded content, and they see your breadth of talent, right? And all that work. It's a no-brainer for them if you're putting in the work to add you to that list on that roster. So we've seen that same story play out with friends and family who've used the platform. It's just really good leverage to tell their story when they're not there in person, right?
And you talked about a little bit of what that epiphany moment was of realizing that there isn't something like WarpStream out there that can seamlessly bring all of that content together under one banner. Was that the niche that you really saw WarpStream fitting into when y'all were getting into this?
No, when we got into it was really that human performance. I mean, my background too is I'm an engineer by trade, so not just a product manager, but I started my journey in computer software development. and really like the medical side. So I'm very interested in human performance,
Mhm.
and I spent 20 years in the Marine Corps, so it's something I'm passionate about, right? It's the mental plus the physical and putting that together. So it's not where I thought we'd land. I don't think we charted on being a more social media, but I mean, I'm an engineer, but I'm a business guy too. So what I like to see is about like with the athletes we just had or athletes you're working with, these kids are building their future, right?
Mhm.
So the athletic side is going to pan out at some point, right? Everybody's got a shelf life when it comes
Yeah.
to that. But what they
Yeah.
can do in the meantime is they're building that commercial talent. They're getting smarter on business with their parents,
Mm-hmm.
right? And they can leverage that reach and start to leverage that, right? We talk about the lifestyle videos. So whether you wear a brand or you're into a certain hobby, those are things that are part of you and that's part of your reputation, right? You can just bring that all together.
Mhm. So now is 3 partners in this. Is it correct or is it
It's, it's actually 5 of us.
Okay, so talk to us about the 5 partners and what roles do they play?
Yeah, so we all like it's an ebb and flow about timing. So another part of mine, the first one actually, his name's Dennis. We met at Marquette University. He's a computer science guy. I was an engineer.
Okay.
Then I met Keaton when I worked here in Houston when I lived here in manufacturing oil and gas. And so then the next one,
And I'm gonna guess Keaton just rolled up on you, didn't he?
yeah, he just rolled up.
Hey, that's him. That's how he came at me.
Yeah,
he
you
was
know,
in my DMs.
I think it's the big guys are like big teddy bears, so they're small. I mean, you can't mess with them now. But
Right.
Very friendly.
Yeah, very, very friendly. He's like
Very
the
friendly.
perfect waiter. Comes to the table just enough and not too much. You're like, yeah, I like this waiter.
Yeah.
Get a good tip. That's how Keaton hit me up.
No, great guy, and he's very involved in the sports community here in the Houston metro area. And then his family, he has relatives that are big in the basketball industry as well. And so, and then lastly, our last 2 partners we found, one's Femi Badejo Senior. He's he and his brother Brandon played in the NFL.
Okay.
So we met him through some entrepreneurial networking and things like that. And then our last one, we have 2 developers on the team. So Cody is the other one. So Dennis and Cody do the heavy lifting of developing the technology as we continue to iterate. So
No, I love that, bro. And I mean, and what y'all are building it's just been great. You know, like I said, I know that our partnership is still new, right? So we're still in that honeymoon phase where like everything's great because we're laying on the beach right now, right? We're on the beach, Akil. We're in the Bahamas, right? And so we're loving life right now. But y'all have been in business for how many years?
we've been in 9 years.
9
So
years.
we
Oh,
started
that's beautiful.
2017. We formalized, and then as you can imagine, we started building proofs of concept a couple of years before that. So
Okay, so now talk to us about that, right? You know, give us some success stories that you guys have seen because a lot of people know that the 4 or 5-star guys, they got a website, if they got an agent, they're going to be fine no matter what.
Right.
But talk to us about those good success stories that you have of people where if it wasn't for you guys, might not have been discovered and where, you know, they ended up landing.
yeah, so like, and that's kind of why we built it. Like you said, 4 and 5-star guys that's easy talent to see, right? But even like I go back to co-founder Keaton with his son putting out his links or sending out the links. So you fill out these applications when you're applying to these programs and immediately start to get picked up. The other thing is I talked about network effects before. So KJ Keaton Watson II, you know, Keaton's son is a good example of that and like building on that success. So he gets picked up in one tournament and then the other, you know, event organizers or whatnot start to pick up and say, hey, I saw you were on this list of who's who. Hey, you know, let's check you out. Give us your link, and they find the talent. And next thing you know, he's on another lineman list for that season. So that's a good example of like you build on one, and then the network effects take over, and you start, you know, picking up steam.
Yeah, and I love how those links just sit beautifully on all these profiles, right? Whether it's the Instagram profile or their X profile, you know, of having that to where a coach can literally just click on that. You know, we talked a little bit offline, you know, before we started, you know, the pod when we're outside, right? Where it was like, what I love the most about that is that it's almost like a movie premiere, right? You know, it's like when you're watching a premiere, you're like, ooh, I want to go to the movie theater now and buy some popcorn and go sit and watch this 2-hour movie because of what I just saw in this 30-second to a minute clip. That's what I look at Warp Stream because I love the fact that it's like combining X with Instagram, with TikTok, and it's showing everything, but it's also providing a professional look of their profile, of the height, weight, their NCAA ID number. But y'all went next level and said, hey, let's also get video running to where it's already just running, just little clips,
Right.
but just enough to where a college coach can take that and really end up putting the young man on their recruiting board.
Yeah, Jay, we know time is precious, right? Especially we talked about, you know, social media is really like a new scouting layer, right? But just like in person, people have limited time. So what we want is when people tap on your link, you put that link in your profile across your different socials, right? The point is the scout taps on that link, you hit him in the face immediately with your best highlight, not a static image, but the video. Get their mouth wet, salivating, right? Like, who is this guy or gal? I want them on my team. So we hit them with the highlight immediately, and it's purpose built. So the challenge with social media when you're on these different platforms, they're built for they all have different goals, right? But WarpStream is for athletes first, right? So things like your quick bio, your stats, all the different types of video, your academics, your awards, it's all tailored there in a nice, quick, consumable fashion, right? Meant for that scout or coach that's looking for the next talent.
I love that, man. I love it because I think one of the biggest strengths of WarpStream too is the ease of access, right? Where it's very much plug and play. Everything is very streamlined. You know exactly where everything is supposed to go. Copy and paste in a bio, and it still looks clean and it still looks professional. Easy to throw in a video for some highlight reels. That's the type of stuff that I think is the biggest strength I feel like of WarpStream is just how easy it is to the point where you don't have to have technical know-how. Any mom or pop can throw that in and have it still look very seamless. And I think y'all have done an excellent job of that.
Thank you. And, that's where, we built this infrastructure, this system for parents and athletes to run with it, right? That's where we're partnering with you all. So it's not just visibility, which we solve for, and we can write docs and things like that and point people to references, but you got to have that guidance, right? So that's where Protection U with you all's expertise comes in for that guidance piece. So together, you get the visibility, you got to have the guidance and a plan to get there, right?
Right. Exactly, man. And I, we're blessed, we picked on Keaton, but I'm glad, that he hit me up and instantly, saw the connection. And, I'll ask this last question to you when Keaton first told you about Protection United, like, hey, I got, organization I think would be great. And then you did your research on us. Like, what was the first thing that really gravitated you, to us?
I like the breadth of services. So what I could see is obviously you're in the business, right? Recruiting. So you all have that background. But what I really liked is you have services for athletes of all, and parents of all different types, right? So there's like a self-service model where they can, lower services, maybe not high touch, but you still give that framework and the guidance there. And then for athletes that want to go the extra mile and go all in, you provide even more dedicated services. So I really like the breadth where you cover of, you all bring on people like lawyers so people can get educated about the process, because the recruiting landscape or the process has changed significantly, right? People don't, we're talking about minors and kids at the end of the day, youth and high school athletes, but they really are building these almost like a business, right? So when you go to that next level, you need to be treated like such. You need a framework and people that know what they're doing. And that's what you all are. So I'm really excited to see what we can do together. And I feel like it's a great partnership for us because we're going to learn a lot from you, and you see what's going on out there a lot more than we do. And you get those personal stories about what's going on with different colleges and athletes and parents.
Yeah, bro. And that's what I love, kind of flipping it back on y'all as well, like every time I want to say something to you about, hey, can we do this and do that? And you were like, yes, 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 because the flexibility, right? And being able to customize and, adding on to your point, we're not building trinkets, right? Neither one of us are, right?
No.
We're dealing with real people. Like Randy Mills is a real person, right?
Yep.
And he needs a team that's going to be around him, that's going to do what's best for him and customize, right? What's best for him. And I love the fact that what you're doing with WarpStream is like, hey, we're the same way. We're going to customize this thing to what's best for you, not what's best for us, right? And a lot of people that we've seen, which is why I passed on other partnerships, because everything was about what was easier for them, and not what was best for the athletes. And what you, King and company, are building, brother. Like, I cannot express how excited we are here at Protection United to have this partnership, and I look forward to this essentially long-term deal that we're going to be with y'all, and collectively we're going to come together and help these young men and these young women continue to live their dreams.
Yes. No, thank you, Jay. Jay's really good.
Yeah, absolutely. We thank you so much for coming on, because this is a huge partnership. We're very excited to see what this future is going to look like, not just for us, obviously, but what this is going to do for a lot of the young athletes that are looking to make their jump into the collegiate ranks. So, Akil, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. And while folks, Akil gets ready to go, we transition over to the last little bit that we have here. Maybe one last little segment that we love to always return to when
Yeah.
we're talking about interesting questions and we're
Okay.
talking about interesting things that are going on within not only members of the Protect You crew, but members of the Protect You staff. And you and I know a staff member right now that is going through a little bit of trouble because understandably college can hit you like a semi truck when you're expecting that high school type of vibe.
Oh, so from the academic side.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
The academic side can
Gotcha.
really hit you hard.
Gotcha.
And we toss it over now to none other than Addie Ferrell as she gets ready to intro us for another Crunch Time with Addie.
Hey guys, it's Addie. Welcome back. So, some of y'all may not know this, but I'm a freshman in college, and recently calculus has been kicking my butt. So, as I'm dreading studying for this crap, it got me thinking, which classes did you two hate the most and why? I'm excited to hear y'all's answers, and I'll see y'all next time.
So troubles with calculus spur on the question.
Well, first of all, look, I'm just going to throw this out real quick. You see all Addie's hand gestures and all that? Like, no, she's flustered. Addie's frustrated. Computer Jesus, you saw that, right? That was a lot of action. Hand clapping, like she was clapping back.
Yeah.
Addie's pissed.
It's understandable. Calculus is nothing to joke around with.
I agree.
And I'm very fortunate that I didn't need to take any calculus or any advanced math classes for my degree that I went through. But I'll start off on mine with the class that was, I guess, my least favorite when I was in college was biology. And not because I hate science or I hate biology. The reason why is because it was a class that I had to freaking repeat when I got into college. So I took AP biology my senior year of high school.
All right.
Passed the AP test, so I got my certification. I got my college credit.
Yeah.
Good to go.
Yeah.
I sit down with my academic advisor when I get to Lone Star Tomball. Honors college student, they roll out the red carpet, everything for me. But they were like, yes, sir, you'll need to take another science class. We recommend taking biology. I'm like, I just took biology.
And what happened?
I already have the course. And they're like, sorry, sir, we just recommend that you take this class again. Since it's still fresh in your mind, it's probably best for you to retake the class. What sort of sense does that make?
Brother, imagine if you had Melissa Mills in your life. You could have made one phone call. She would have set them straight. Dog, if you would have had her in your life, dude, you would not have to take that class again. I believe that in my heart.
It would have made my life a hell of a lot easier. That's for sure.
Yeah. So you hated it because you had to retake it.
I had to retake it. And then it was another one of those two where obviously it's community college. And so a bunch of kids are there to just sort of get their basics out of the way. And it was one where I had to do a lot of heavy lifting of, all right, I got these two jack wagons that are sitting on either side of me. It's all right. You three.
Yeah.
You three are going to be partnered together for today's lab. And it's like, great. I got to carry these two guys as dead weight. I'm going to do most of everything. Just write down all of my notes and just ride my coattails to an A on this assignment.
Okay. Well, I'm going to tell you what mine was. Mine's easy. And I think a lot of people, well, they're watching the show as well as the people in the green room will agree with me. You might be the only one that won't agree. But my least favorite was history. It was look, I'm going to tell you why. You get frustrated, Jake. You love showing your emotion on this show. Like every time I say something that you don't agree with, every time you do it. I don't know why.
All right.
You get red in the face and all the things, Jake. Let me have my answer.
All right, go for it. Go for it.
Thank you. So it's history. Here's the reason why. Okay. I was always a guy that had an entrepreneurial spirit, even at a young age, right?
Course.
My mom worked at the church. She was the secretary. So after every church service, I was in charge of separating the coins and all that. So that's where I fell in love with money and wanted to be in the financial world. Okay, that's great. But then I started learning as we're going in school, what the hell did I need history for my future? Like, think about that. Like, why do I need to know anything about the past if it's going to help me going forward?
I am speechless, Jay.
Okay.
I am flat out speechless.
I don't know why you would be speechless.
I would argue that history is, and social studies as a whole, is probably the most important subject that they teach you in school.
What?
Only second,
Most important?
second maybe to only English because of professionalism and writing.
You're
and all
crazy
of
as
that.
hell.
No.
Okay, Jake.
Math, bottom of the run.
Okay, you know what? I'm glad that math's at the bottom, so that way when I'm gonna go adjust your payroll, and then because you don't want to look at the math of it, right? And so Are you crazy?
So hear me out, Jay.
English
Because
and math are the most. Look, I want to get Melissa Mills. Come here, Melissa. Come on this show right now. No, you're coming in, girl. Because we have an educator in the building. Yeah. Come here. Come on in here, Mama.
a surprise appearance.
Surprise appearance. Okay. We're only bringing you on the spot. We're so sorry. This is not scripted, by the way. She's red in the face. She's like, Jay, what the hell are you doing? I'm going to take you to lunch afterwards as a treat. And your birthday is next week. So, will you tell this fool that math and English are the most two important subjects over history?
I would agree with that.
Your social studies
And
department is
look,
going to be
No, but
very,
here's
very
the deal.
upset.
Tell them, educate them.
I absolutely hate math. So, but I think it's important.
Okay.
I mean, how many kids these days can't balance a checkbook?
So hear me out. So I think it's the reason why I say math is least important is it's the type of math that they teach us. When in your past 20 years have you needed to break out anything related to do with geometry? When?
Jake,
Jay?
Tell me when have I ever in my life needed to go somewhere in my career about who killed George Washington?
First off, nobody killed George Washington. He died of natural causes.
Well, that's my point. I didn't need to know that. I did not need to know it. I did not need to know it.
But
Right?
history's fun, though.
Yes.
I didn't say it wasn't fun. I'm just saying that for me, I knew I didn't
Yeah,
need
I'm
it.
trying to help you.
I
mean,
appreciate
for you to
it.
say
I
math
appreciate
is
it.
the math. Jake, you're not educating the youth. Look, from now on, when we go do our seminars, when we get to this section, I just need you to exit stage left. Don't talk about.
I'm fine stepping back on financial literacy. I'm fine with that because I do understand that is important. It's important to know how to balance a checkbook. I credit my math teacher for breaking past the curriculum and teaching us how to balance a checkbook, how to write a check. All that stuff I think is incredibly important. And I think it sucks that it's essentially forced to be an elective almost of how that stuff works. That's not core curriculum math.
I mean, I think it's good to know history, but Mama Mills, before we close out the podcast, right, we're going to let you get the final say. If you had to rank all classes, right, and if you can give us from 5 to 1, or if you want to go 3 to 1, whatever you want to do, but give us the worst to the most important.
Oh, my goodness. Okay. I'm going to just start out by saying I appreciate all the teachers out there.
She's like,
And I
damn it,
think
Jay,
they're
everybody's
all
watching.
important, but I would have to say English and math are the top.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say 1, 2, 2, 1, whichever.
So 1A, 1B.
Yeah, there
Okay,
you
great.
go.
So then what would be 3?
3, I don't know. I kind of think like social studies and government because you need to know
Right.
during the voting years and
the
how
economics that
yes,
goes with that.
exactly.
I was a finance economics major.
Yes.
Mama Mills. Are you proud of me?
Yeah, I am. I am.
Thank
yeah.
you. Thank you. I agree with you on that. So what would 4 and then 5 be?
I think the arts are probably the
Okay.
number 5.
Okay.
So
then-
I'm thinking history.
four?
Yeah, history.
And I'm good with that.
Fair.
I mean, but I do like the history. I think it's fun. I think it's cool knowing your past. Here's the thing. If you know your past, then you won't make those mistakes again, hopefully. So when our country has done, and other countries have done some kind of dumb things,
Mm-hmm.
not to offend anybody, but,
Yeah.
I mean, you learn from your past.
Yeah.
So I think,
Okay.
and
I like that. That's why I agree that history is 4. I agree with that. Look, but how are you going to argue against an educator? She truly educates the youth.
I also come from a family of educators, Jay.
You do.
That is
Jake.
true.
That is true.
My father was a world geography teacher, and my mother was a U.S. government teacher when I was growing up. So
Okay.
maybe a little bit of that social studies bias comes from that, of
Okay,
understanding
that's
where
fair.
that background comes from. But
That's fair.
I like the point that you made too, Jay, of it's important to emphasize the importance of education, whether we like the classes or not. It's because I'm sure that there are a lot of students out there that are either agreeing and nodding their heads of like, yeah, that class makes sense. And
Yeah.
our prayers go out to all of the students out there, and our thanks go out to all of the educators out there. Teachers are incredibly important. We support all of the teachers here that are educating the smart
We do.
members of the Protect
We
You
do.
crew.
Even the history and art
And art
teachers.
teachers.
Just going to throw that out. And astronomy. That was my favorite.
Oh,
We'll talk about that later.
That's
but
an interesting pull.
I like it. That was my favorite college class.
Interesting.
You
pull.
lead a club, at 3 in the morning, and your lap would be watching the stars at night. Say yes to that. That's easy. That's all I got to do, and I get my lab credit. I'll tell Randy. I'll hook you up with that, brother. I'll help set your schedule for college.
But Mrs. Mills, thank you for the surprise appearance on the Protect You podcast.
Anytime. I enjoyed it. Thank you all.
Oh no, just stay here. You were on the show out. Just stay here.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, you can say bye to everybody. Anything else you want to say before we go?
No, thanks for having us. It was great. It was a fun day.
Of course. Thank you again so much for taking the time to join us. We were very excited to see what Randy's future is going to be. You've produced an excellent young man and an excellent young athlete. So
Thank you. It was a lot of work while his dad was out chasing cars and women.
Hey, so at lunch, so you're not in a rush, right? We're gonna go eat lunch. Can y'all go? Are y'all in a rush?
We're going to pick up Randy a new truck today.
Okay, well, you got time to eat.
Yeah.
My man's got to eat. 'Cause I got to hear these
eat,
stories.
so, yeah.
We're going to hear about these cars that he was chasing. Only the cars.
he is never going to live this episode now.
Yeah.
No, he's not.
It's going to be archived on YouTube forever.
But we thank you again so much for taking the time to come on. Thanking you so much again for Randy having the availability to come on this one. Thanks also go out to Chase, our excellent Mel Kiper here on
Chase
the Protect You staff, as well as Akil Backus and the rest of the Warp Stream crew for making sure that this partnership comes to fruition and presents a very bright future for both of us here. But with that, folks, that does it for this episode of the Protect You podcast. We hope you all enjoyed watching it as much as we did making it. I've been Jake Wilson alongside Jay Mickens. Justin Woods was our excellent producer, and we hope to catch you all on the next one.